everybody. It's Marlene of Life with Marlene, your channel for vlogs, motivation, inspiration, travel, Florida things, all of those things. So, how's everybody doing? I appreciate every single one of you. Happy Friday to everyone. I hope everybody had a good week so far. So, today I have a topic for you, and before all of those things, I hope you guys will consider subscribing to this channel, turning on your notifications, and all of those things. Let me put out a poll and ask this question. Okay, I just put out the poll, so please take the poll, okay? So, hi everybody, happy Friday. Welcome to today's chit chat. I thought I'd do a little bit of a discussion today and talk about some stuff that I think it would be a pretty fun topic, something that's pretty fun to discuss. And today I think we should talk about, our past, right? Talking about if it was possible for us, if it was possible for us to go back in time, what would you change? I have some things that I want to talk about, some things that I would change, but first of all, let me know what is some things that you would change? I know it's something that may seem impossible and it can't happen, and maybe we shouldn't think about it to drive ourselves crazy, but I do think that it's important. If we have something to talk about, we should talk about it. Hi, Nolan's girl. How are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for your support. Happy Friday. So, the question applies to everybody. Please take the poll. Please leave a like, subscribe if you have not already. And I wanted to say this to all of my GEMS family. If you had an opportunity to go back in time and to change something, to redo it, or maybe not do it, what would you change? I'm going to first start off with my childhood. If I could go back in time for my childhood, one thing that I would change is I think I would pay more attention as a child when I was in school, because I was just like, I wasn't really interested in school. I really didn't pay attention in school. So if I could go back in time, and I would really focus on actually learning instead of trying to worry about, who liked me. I was focusing on the wrong things. And I think that if I could change something about the past, it would be that. I would change what I could do instead of realizing that there's certain things that I can't change. Hi, Miss Jackie. Hi, Miss Eunice. Hi, everybody who's in the chat. There's certain things that we can't change, right? We can't. But one thing that I wish I could change, starting with my childhood, is knowing that there are certain things that you are never going to be able to control. I wish from a young age I knew about self-esteem and self-worth, self-love, and all of those things, and not putting so much pressure on myself to feel accepted from other peers or teachers or adults or other people in general. I wish I learned from a younger age. If I could go back in time, I wish from the time I was a little girl, I wish I was a little girl with self-esteem and not a little girl who was depending on other people for my love. That's one thing I would change. Let me go to the chat. Nolan's girl says, peace and blessings, Marlene. Peace and blessings to you too, Nolan's girl. Hi, Miss Eunice. She says, happy Friday, everyone. I hope all is well. All is well here, Miss Eunice. Nolan's girl says, I would change my communication and doing things differently and not to do it. Yeah, that I can feel that one. Yeah, there's certain things that, if you could, if you could learn certain things, if you could grow, if you could be a better person, I think just about everybody would. I'm just speaking for myself. I know I'm not like everybody. Hold on, I gotta turn this ring light thing off because it's driving me crazy. There we go. I had it on that loop thing where all the colors. Okay. Hi, Miss Jackie. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Friday. Hi, Kristen. Nolan's girl says, I know I can't, it can't be changed, but I should have spoken more instead of being quiet and scared. I feel the same way, looking for love. Yeah, a lot of people go through that. And that's another thing that I'm going to get to in a little bit. Hey, Realist One, how are you doing? Welcome in. That's something that I definitely would change if I could go back in time and change. That's one of the first things that I would change. I would change my approach to and my outlook to life. Even from a childhood, I wish that I could shift, not worrying about what other people thought about me. I spent way too many years of my life from the time I was a little girl until I was probably halfway through college. I spent my energy, my time, and my power on trying to get people to be on my side, get people to like me, what they thought about me. And it wasn't until I really came into my own as a woman that I realized that I'm wasting my time, my effort, and my power trying to make other people like me or try to get people on my side when they're irrelevant anyway. So if I could go back in time, I would learn about how to deal with people. I would learn that don't waste your energy on people that you don't need to waste your energy on. Miss Jackie says, hit the like. Hit the like. Yes, everybody. Happy Friday, Realists. How are you doing? I hope everybody's doing good. Let's see what's going on in the poll. You guys take the poll, please. I'm going to answer it when I see 10 votes, okay? So another one that I would change, if I could go back in time and I could change something about my life, I think I would spend more time with my loved ones. When I was younger, especially when I was in that, you're grown and stuff, it was all about friends. It was all about people pleasing. It was all about other people and not what was important, not the people who actually mattered. And I wasted so much energy, so much time, so much money on people that's like, and I used to, like, later on, like, what were you doing? What were you thinking? Are you absolutely crazy? But when you don't know things, when you're immature, and I think not everybody, but me personally, I know when I was younger, I started off and it was like my mom and my dad and my siblings was like everything to me. But then as I got older, it's like friends are more important. What they think are more important than what you think about yourself and what makes you happy. And then it gets into like family takes over even that. And then now I'm back to the point where I have to realize my value, my importance, what I want. So I wish if I could go back in time, I could get back some of those years where I wasted my energy, my time, and my power, and especially a lot of money on people pleasing and knowing that somebody wasn't good for me and not moving on from that, giving myself the permission to let people go when I knew that they weren't good for me. I wish I could go back and change that, but you don't get those things until you get it. But I wish I could go back in time and change that, not wasting my energy, not trying to only be a one-sided. That's another thing that I would change if I could change it. When I realized that the relationship was one-sided, no matter what the relationship was, having enough strength from within to cut people off and to not keep holding on to a piece of a relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic, or whether it's you know, on the job, like not holding on to things that hurt me, not holding on to things that are toxic, and not making excuses for other people. I wish 100% that I had enough wherewithal and strength from within at the time, like years ago. Hi, Tam Tam. How are you doing? Welcome in. Everybody, can you please check out all my mods in blue? And if they have channels, please go ahead and check them out. They're awesome. I wish I had the strength from within when I was younger. I wish I had strength enough to know that I don't have to put up with your mess. I don't have to take your foolishness. I don't have to be a doormat. And I wish that from many, many years ago, I wish I knew that I don't have to say yes to everybody. I don't have to make everybody happy and keep allowing myself to suffer. That's something that I wish that I possessed way back in the day, but it's okay. It's all good. All that matters really in this life is that you get it eventually. And eventually I got it, but it took me many, many years for me to not feel guilty about putting myself first, not feeling guilty about being around things that take me outside of my values, outside of, you know, my core beliefs and the things that I believe. Not that I'm not respectful of other people and their opinions, but not like going to the edge of the line where I feel uncomfortable, or sticking around and being places that I know I don't want to be, places and doing things that I know I can't afford. I don't do those things anymore. When I was younger, it was all about this, and I gotta have this, and a name brand this, and a name brand that, and having fancy. When at the end of the day, who cares if you have the fanciest clothes? Who cares if you have the best cars and the best homes and all of these things? You're the one that has to pay for it. And while you're out here trying to get the accolades and trying to get everybody to say, oh, wow, you're doing so good, and you're the one suffering with these big credit card debts, with all of these things, why are you trying to make other people say, oh, wow, and then later on you suffer? So that's something that I wish that I had learned, that I could change and not have wasted so much time, effort, money, energy, power, time. Yeah, I wish I had learned that. Miss Eunice says, yes, I did that far too long, even into my adulthood, hanging on to people who were toxic and users. I think that's something that the majority of us as human beings, we do that, especially when it comes to our relatives, or some people call them family, but I call them relatives. We could be related to people, but it doesn't mean they're good for us, you know? And I had to learn first in my life to have enough strength from within to walk away from people or things that drain my energy, drain my time, make me feel bad or guilty, or stop me from my personal growth. And when I realized that some of the people who say that they love me, when eventually I found out that it's not that they love me, they love that they can use me. They love that they can, you know, get me to do things, or they love that they can control me, or whatever the case may be, or side with them and they're wrong. And as I've grown, as I've healed and worked on myself, I had to learn to be first honest with myself. And when I found out that a person is draining me or using me, I had to have enough courage to say, you know, I don't have to put up with that. It's time to cut that off. So good for you too, Miss Eunice, and anybody who's watching. You know, I hope everybody learns that lesson. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be from your mother down to your best friend. It could be your spouse or significant other. It could be anybody in your life. If there are people who are in your life and all they're doing is taking from you, all they're doing is using you, all they're doing is playing games with your head and your heart, or your finances, or they're trying to play mind games. You must. It's not optional. You must cut those people off. Yes, Nolan's girl, me too. And I found that as I got into knowing myself, I stopped caring what other people think about the way I look and how I dress and how I talk and the moves that I'm making, because at the end of the day, it's about our ultimate happiness as human beings, as women, as men, you know. You making sure you're doing the things that makes you happy and not what is just making your relatives or your kids or the person you're in a relationship with making them happy. While that's nice to aid in making other people happy, but you cannot make other people happy and sacrifice your own well-being. You know, that's something that I wish I could change, because I wasted so many years in so many different relationships, from romantic to platonic, wasting my energy and my time. And these people were not good for me. They were users and takers, manipulators. And when I started to learn to speak up for myself and to tell people, you're not going to run over me. No, I'm not going to do that. When you start using your words, no, you can't control me. No, I'm not going to support you when you do wrong things. You have to do the right thing. And when you start developing intellectually and emotionally, like, you're not with the controlling thing, like, no, you're not going to control me. No, you're not going to tell me what to do. I know what I want to do. So, you know, the people who try to guilt you, try to make you feel bad for making better decisions, or the ones that try to make you feel bad because you're improving, you know, like, yeah, when you're younger, you know, you go out, you hang out, maybe you're out there drinking and smoking and partying. You do those things when you're young. But then when you get older, you should be elevating and moving at a higher frequency, a higher vibration. And when you know better, you're supposed to do better. So that's something that I used to, while I was growing intellectually, I was not applying it to my life. And I had to stop letting other people in my life stop me from my personal growth, from my spiritual growth, and from my financial growth, because dealing with certain individuals, they will mess you up. Some people will sabotage your success. They'll sabotage your joy, your peace, your happiness, all of those things. They won't let you move forward because they're always trying to involve you in their drama. They're always trying to make it seem like something is wrong. And then, of course, they involve you in it. What do you think? Hey, yeah, what are we going to do? And when you get yourself involved in negativity, it's like a tornado that you find yourself drawn into. You're in the whirlwind of it. And it's always confusion and disruption and anger. And you have to make a choice to remove yourself from those situations. Hi, D-Town, Queen B. How are you doing? Good afternoon. D-Town Queen B says, you literally have me about to cry, because this is what's happened to me with my family. Yes. You know, I'm so sorry that that's happening to you or anybody, you know. To be honest, 100%. There's a lot of people who don't have things going very well within their relatives, but they put on this show. You know, it's all of those things. People put on a show. They do. People put on a show. They pretend that they love you. Hi, Dragon Ball fan. How are you doing? Welcome. Hi, Aaron. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Friday, everybody. And it's like you're trying your best to be a good person. Oh, thank you, Aaron. You try your best to be a good person. You try your best to put boundaries out there. You try your best to just be good. But there are certain people that just don't know how to. They don't know how to be respectful. They don't know how to be kind. You know, certain people are just jealous, or they're angry, or whatever it is. So it's all of those things. So I hope your situation is better now. D-Town Queen Bee. Nolan's Girl says, I'm so glad you are inspirational and motivating with great messages every day. Thank you so much. I try, you know. I'm not perfect or nothing. Don't want you all to think that. I'm not a perfect person by any means. I make mistakes all the time. I hurt people, but I hope every day when I wake up, I put that in my mind. I remind myself of who I am, of what I can do, what I can control, and what I can't. And that's the thing that, you know, I wanted to talk about today. You know, learning to think about, we have choices to make every day. We have choices. Either we're going to stay in the same routine of negativity, we're going to stay on a low frequency, a low vibration. We're going to allow other people to take our power away. Thank you, Blur. How are you doing? Welcome. If you guys could hit the like, I really appreciate it. Hold on a second, guys. I have to get some facial tissue. Keep talking among yourselves. My allergies are bad today, guys. I could get some tissue. Sorry about that, guys. But Queen Bee says, it's not. I'm going through a difficult time right now. My family has drained me mentally, spiritually, and financially. Yeah. I'm so sorry to hear that, you know. I know everybody has their issues, to be honest. You know, and the people who act like their life is picture perfect, they're liars. Nobody has a perfect family or a perfect situation, or always, like, you know how like some people act like their life is picture perfect and they don't have any problems and they're always smiling and happy all the time. And that's just not reality. I'm just going to tell you all the truth. I wake up and some days I have a very bad attitude. I'm just not in a negative space. But then I have to remind myself of how much I'm worth. You know, you have to start there. Remember who you are. Remember how far you can go. And, you know, we all have the power of choice. Every single one of us. You have the power of choice. Yeah. And some days we don't make the best choices. Some days we allow other people to get us down. And, you know, that's one thing that I want to tell anybody who needs to hear this message today, because I've been there for many, many years. Don't allow your relatives, don't allow friends, don't allow a job, don't allow what other people are saying about you. Who cares who likes you and all of those things, you know. At the end of the day, you have to get back in a position to where, what do I want to do? What makes me happy? What fulfills me? What fills up my cup? What brings me joy in my life? And I still have some people within my relatives that don't talk to me anymore because I won't be their little, whatever, their little puppets to be controlled. And I'm not going to do that. You're not just going to call me just when you want money or you want this or you want to complain all day long. I can't handle that. That drains me. And that's something that I'm grateful that I'm in a space now in my life that I've moved past all of those things. And I'm speaking to somebody who is in that season right now. Like, if you're in the season, like, your life isn't the way you want it to, whether it's financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you have toxicity around you. And even I know from being in that space to where when I was toxic, because if you are around people who are toxic, you eventually will become toxic. And that's why I said, if there's some things that I wish that I could have changed, one of the things that I wish that I would have changed is knowing that I had power. Okay? I had power to choose whether I'm going to go around them. I had the power. Hi, Malik. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Friday. I had power of choice. You know, I can choose to listen to you. I can choose not to. I can choose to answer your phone call. I can choose not to. I can choose to not give you my money. I can choose to not give you my energy. And that's what I'm talking about. And when I started going to therapy, and my therapy honestly was to get me to be able to speak up for myself, because I had a major problem with that, with telling people how I felt, because I honestly think I'm a person that I don't like confrontation. I don't like drama. I don't. I don't like drama. I hate people who are dramatic. I hate people who try to make everything about them and they never have any accountability for what they do. So it's one of those things. Um, yeah, it does hurt. I'm so sorry you're going through all of this, Queen Bee. I hope it gets better. You blocked them. Well, that's the first part of your journey. Malik says, I'm good, thank you. How are you? Yes, I'm doing great, Malik. How was your Friday? Hi, Keith. How are you doing? Welcome. Oh, you stay to yourself. You know, one thing that I had to learn, you know, and one of the reasons why I wanted to have this conversation and talk about this is because I used to have lots of people like, uh, I guess you could call me, like I was a social butterfly, talking to everybody, laughing with everybody. And then when I went through a certain situation in my life, I felt like if I have all these people, if I have all these people who know me and claim to love me, and then at the end of the day, if you're going through something and nobody even checks on you, like, are you okay? Do you need something? How can I help you or support you? I mean, nothing. I'm not saying I wanted people to give me financially, but you know, the emotional support, even just saying, you know, I'm here for you, something, anything, but there was nothing. And that's when I started moving at a different a pace. I started to learn to, I started learning to control my energy and not letting them control me. Yes. Yeah, you stay to yourself. You had to learn to enjoy your own company. Yeah, that's important. Oh, you had a fantastic day? Awesome, Malik. Why do you say that, Avenger? Yes, just some emotional support. I think that's so important. Just some emotional support. It doesn't have to be all of this big thing, but sometimes it's just somebody who would just say, somebody who will just be supportive of your dreams. Someone just being supportive of you, just saying, I was thinking about you today. You know, I'm here for you. Is there anything that I can do? Or even I've had a really great best friend that came all the way from the other side of town just to bring me something to eat because they knew that while I was going through that situation, I wasn't going to eat. That's when you know you have some good people that they'll go out of their way to support you. And my thing is without asking. You don't have to say, can you call me? Can you text me? Can you do this? Can you do that? They just will do it for you. And that's one of the things that if I could go back in time, I would stop requesting or asking people to be there and asking people to support me. I put my energy into the ones that already do. You know, I always said, I'm not going to hold people's hand. I'm not going to tell people that are grown that they need to be grown. Either you're going to be mature or you're not. And if you're not, you cannot have a space in my life. You're not going to waste my time. Hi, 4-star. How are you doing? Welcome. If you're not going to treat me right, if you're not going to respect me, then you got to go. You got to go. Say it with me, everybody. You got to go. And I had to do that to some family. I had to do that to some quote unquote friends. I had to even switch jobs and do some things because the environment was toxic. So if I could go back in time and change some things, I would stop staying places where I was miserable, because I know for many years I stayed in jobs that I hated. I I was doing things, going around people just because they were quote unquote my family, and that's just not good enough. Okay? I don't know what that means, IDK anymore. That's one of the things that I had to honestly learn. I had to honestly learn me. And the same thing, I say that to everybody. Do you know yourself? Do you know your power, your energy? You know? And it's like, wow. And until we get to know who we are as women and as men first, you have to know yourself. You have to love yourself. Well, then, no, I don't. Yeah, they have to go. All right, realists. Yeah, very often, Nolan's girl. I've had many, many people of different cultures, cultural backgrounds, you know, different demographics. I've had all types of people that are in my life that support me. So one thing that I would change right now and today, the person that I am today, is I would stop spending my time waiting for people to change. Because if somebody wants to do something, if somebody wants to be there for you, they will not make an excuse. That's something that I definitely 100% would change about my life. If somebody does not want to show up for you, they won't. If somebody cares about you, they will. Oh, yeah. That's the easy thing to happen, Queen Bee. I'm so sorry. But you know, sometimes we have to live and learn. We have to go through the fire. We have to go through the storm. We have to make sometimes some poor decisions in our life to learn from it and to mature and to say, you know what? I'm not doing that anymore. You know, I'm not doing that anymore. I've been through a lot of things in my life that I'm not going to bring out here right now. Maybe I'll do a topic one at a time about certain things that I've been through, but I've been through a lot in my life. And it hurts when you've been over backwards for people and you've supported people, and then it's like you feel like they spit on you or walk over you or stab you in the back, or you know, it's not a good feeling. But it's always better to find out who people really are than to be with fake people, than to get fake support, you know, or to have people that in the background, they really don't want you to win, or they don't really want you to succeed. They're just saying that so that they can have some benefit. Oh no, I'm not the strongest person, Malik. There's a lot of people who have been through way more than me. I'm just an everyday woman. Queen Bee says, yes, it hurts, especially when it's your mother. Yeah, it does hurt. It hurts a lot. I've been through a lot of things in my life, but you know, my situation is no better or different from another. You know, I'm just a ordinary person. That's all. You know, I try my best to keep myself on a level playing field. You know, I don't feel like I'm better than anybody, but also I don't feel like I'm worse than anybody. I'm not beneath people, and I'm not above people. I keep a positive attitude, and I believe in having confidence. I think if I could go back in time and I could change some things, I would learn to have more confidence. I would be more confident in making my decisions and all of those things. Oh, that's very nice of you, Malik. I appreciate it. Realist says, exactly. I rather remove myself than continue to keep guessing how genuine the dynamic is. Yeah. And like you've said many, many times, realist, many, many times, you have to act accordingly. If somebody is not acting in a way that you like, or you feel like they're moving like one day they're acting like this and another day they're moving like that. In the Caribbean, we call that sometime-ish. Like you don't know what is the time you're going to act right. And those are the people you gotta remove yourself from those people. Oh, you're writing a letter to help you heal. Yeah, it's hard to hold it in, and it's hard to go on until you learn to heal things. And I'll tell you something, that when you go through things, when people hurt you, even if you tell yourself, you could tell yourself, oh no, that doesn't affect me, that doesn't get to me, but it does. Nobody likes to be run over, disrespected, taken advantage of. Nobody. We're all humans. We all have feelings. We all have emotions. We all deserve respect. We all want to feel loved. But the whole thing is that I wish I could go back in time and change is when I realize that this person is who they are. Like when you realize, like, okay, they're playing games, or they're manipulated, or they're a liar, or they're a thief, they're this, they're that. It doesn't matter who you are in like a bloodline. It doesn't matter how long you've known somebody. Just because you've known somebody for a long time, just because they're your relative, it doesn't mean you need to lower your standards, because I found for myself, okay, I found for myself that until I learned to heal, until I learned to love myself, I was going to keep bringing in negativity. I was going to keep stopping myself. I was going to keep sabotaging my own success. I was not going to allow myself to do things because of listening to other people when they say that won't work or you won't win at that. And we unknowingly sometimes listen to all of those negative talk, the negative behavior, the lack of support. We listen to that so often and make it disrupt our peace, and it does something to us. Like we can't sleep. Some people overeat, some people undereat, some people start with vices, drinking, substance abuse. They get into like some sexual addictions, and it's a lot of things that happen to people, and this is not a judgment zone. I'm not here to judge anybody because I'm not perfect either, but I'm just saying that you can get yourself involved in some vices, and I'm only saying it because I know it, because I lived it. There's a lot of people who get themselves involved in things as an scapegoat from their problems. So they start drinking, or they start a substance habit, or they stop, they become very promiscuous. They do lots of things. They start gambling. It's lots of things that you can do, and you think it's as a release to make yourself happy. But what it really is you're doing these things to hide, to cover, to push back what you really need to talk about and face. And for me, it was like, yeah, because you did this, because this person traumatized me, because this person was abusive, because of this, and this. That's why I act. That's why I'm eating this way. That's why I didn't have confidence. That's why I didn't have self-esteem. So you have to peel back things like an onion, and little by little, let yourself heal from it. And until I let myself heal from so many things, I had to start little by little. Slowly you have to digest the pain. Slowly you have to say, this is what they did, but also being accountable and saying, this is what I did too. I did some messed up stuff too. So it's not just saying, oh, they did this and pointing your finger. No, it's more about that. Hi, Kelly. How are you doing? It's more about how you process it. And sometimes we do not process things. We just push it to the back or ignore it. And that's not an answer. And I know many people, as adults, they have a lot of issues from their childhood. And when you don't resolve your issues from your childhood, you bring it into your adulthood. And then you start giving a complex to your children and to other people, you start getting into these toxic relationships, and we will keep hurting people until we are healed. And I was like, wow, that was a deep thing, because I still have that posted as a sticky note, and I remind myself of that every day. I wake up. I choose to wake up healed. I choose to wake up and make choices to show up in love, to show up with kindness, to show up with respect, because I believe to get respect, to get love, to get kindness, you also need to be that and do that for somebody else. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to go to therapy after this passes. Right now, I have to get me and my baby girl to a safe place. Yeah, that's what's important. Right now, it's just about getting yourself a set up, So, do what's important for you, Queen Bee. Yes, see, everybody has something that they love, and actually, we don't like to talk about it, but everybody has something that they do that may be toxic. And if you're an honest and mature person, you'll say, I have this bad habit because I'm covering up what my mom did or this person did, my auntie, my cousin, my ex. We start developing some bad habits to try to cover up the pain and the hurt that somebody brought to you. So it's that as well. Now let me end this poll here. If you go back in time and redo something, would you? 71% of you said yes. 29% said no. So some don't want to. Yeah, it's a choice. But, if I could go back in time, I would definitely go back and be a better daughter. I definitely would. If I could go back in time, I would be a better daughter. I would be kinder. I would be more patient. I would show up, like I should have been during the time. But, being honest, certain times in our life, we could be very selfish or very immature. But when you learn, you learn. It's not about why you learn. It's about when. And that's what counts. That's what counts. Yep, good and bad memories make you who you are. Yeah, I guess you could look at it that way too. Happy Friday, HD. Queen Bee says, I started meditating to keep me grounded. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Meditating is very good. It brings you peace. Hi, Gaming YT. I'm in Florida. Nolan's girl says, I'm supposed to meditate, but I can get back to writing and poems for my healing. Yes, it's very good for us, right? Yeah, I think that's what's important, to be honest, everybody, is learning from your mistakes. And if I could go back in time and shift and change anything, I would just, first of all, learn humility, learn to stop caring about what other people think and what other people like, and just be myself. Like, forget everybody else. If you're not going to show up for me, if you're not going to like me, if you're not going to support me, that's your problem. You're the one that's missing out. And I wish I had that enough courage and strength from within. I really wish I would have had that. If you guys could hit the like, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Oh, you love to write, Queen Bee? Awesome. Hi, Miss Tamika. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Friday. So what are some of the things that you all, if you could go back in time and you could change some things about your life, what would you? I already know what are some of the things I wish that. I wish when I was younger, I wish I didn't have such a hot head. And it's remarkable if you look at the person that I am today. Honestly, the people who've known me for many, many years, they're like, you have really changed. because I used to, like, I would blow my top. Like, I would be pissed. I would be screaming, angry, cussing, all of it. It was very bad. And then I learned, slow down, learn patience, learn that you can't control everything. You can't be in control of other people. You're only in control of yourself and the choices that you make. And when I learned that, what does that even mean? When I learned who I was, then everything could shift. Everything in my life shifted once I knew myself, knew what I wanted. Okay? I think that's what's important. Let's see what Realist says. Realist says humility, respect, and courtesy, all of which are important as part of the human experience. And whether you're a woman or a man, everybody could benefit from more humility, more respect, more courtesy. Yeah, everybody could benefit from them. I know I could benefit even today. You never come to the top of, oh, I don't need to be any more humble. I don't need to be any more respectful. I don't need to be courteous. Everybody, we can always, slow down a little bit, or not jump to conclusions and think we know, or make assumptions. And I know we're humans. Just about everybody is a judgmental person. We all judge other people or think we know, about certain situations, and we don't know. So these days, I really do try my best not to. I try my best to just focus on my lane, what I'm supposed to do, what makes me happy, do the best that I can, and not worry about other people. Yes, communication is so important, Nolan's girl. Very busy, Realists. Very busy. And that's one of the things that I always say all the time is you can't let other people get to you. You can't. You can't let other people get to you. You can't let other people come at you in a way and just let them. Don't let people run over you. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, grandma. I don't care if it's your friend. I don't care if it's somebody you're in a relationship with. I don't care what the relationship is. If somebody cannot be respectful of you, of what you want, of what you need, and it's always about them and what they want and what they need and trying to control you and take from you, nah, it's not going to work. You're going to make your own self miserable. And for many years, I used to have headaches all the time from the amount of stress, okay? The amount of stress. And I made my own self stressed out. I raised my own blood pressure because why don't they do this? And they know if they did this, why can't you just do the right thing? You can't make other people do the right thing. You can't make people support you. You can't make people love you. You can't make people love themselves. And I was stuck on that for a long time. I was like, they're such a wonderful person, or they're so intelligent, or they have all of these gifts. But if somebody can't see their own personal gifts, you can't do nothing about it. A person has to know who they are first. You have to know yourself. You have to know your power. You have to know your own light from within. You have to know what you can do and not worry about what you can't. Okay? Can't worry about it. You can't worry about it. And I used to drive myself crazy. Like, why don't they love themselves? Don't they see how much talents they have? Don't they see that they're a very attractive person? And, when we look at people sometimes, and it's on social media too, you could look at somebody and say they're a beautiful person, or if it's a guy, they're so handsome, and yet at the same time, that person could have zero self-esteem. To love yourself, to be your own friend, you have to do some work on yourself, on your inside. And it takes a lot of courage for you to peel back things, to be honest with yourself, to be accountable, to say, this happened to me, this hurt me, this disappointed me, but also at the same time is being courageous enough to say, this person did this person hurt me, this person took advantage of me, this person abused me, but at the same time saying, but I let this person do this. I didn't speak up for myself. I didn't enforce this boundary. I didn't think I had a choice to walk away, when we always have the choice to walk away. I always want to bring that awareness. If you feel unsafe, whether it's from your parents to your significant other to a friend, whoever, if you feel like you're being controlled, you feel like you have no choices in your life, if you're being verbally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially abused, assaulted, taken advantage of, you don't have to take it, you know? And it took me a really long time to be able to voice that, to say it out loud. I don't have to be your banker. I don't have to be the person to drive you around everywhere. I don't have to listen to your foolishness. I can't make you happy. We have to let people make their own choices, and some people make a choice to be miserable. That's it. Miss Jackie says, inside every person is a person you don't know. So I always say, everybody could always be a little bit more kinder, a little bit more patient, a little bit more understanding. Yes, Queen Bee. Children is a blessing, but sometimes when someone is distracted by others or the world, they don't see that there's a blessing right in their face without realizing it. Yes. And I can be 100% honest. When I was younger, I didn't appreciate people in my life. I kind of like, oh, that's my mom, that's my brother, that's my dad. You know, they'll always be here and they're always going to be able to do for me. But you never know, just like that, in a split second, people can be taken out of your life. So if you have people and they're kind to you and loving, compassionate, understanding to you, you know, nobody's perfect, but if for the most part they're kind and supporting and they're trying their best to be there for you, make sure you tell them you love them. You know, I always want to say that. Don't take people for granted. And especially, you know, I'm speaking on romantic relationships. Don't take people for granted. A lot of people always try to, I don't know. They always try to upgrade model, right? That people are always looking for a better romantic relationship, a better man, a better woman, a better this, a better that. When if you have a good person in your life, a person who's loving, why do you want to change that? Just because a person on the outside, oh, that they look appealing. Yeah, you can look appealing. You can look good. You can look good, but nothing is like having somebody who is loyal to you. You cannot buy loyalty on the street. You cannot buy respect on the street. You cannot buy compassion. That's if you run into somebody or people like that will be there and supportive and kind and loving to you, don't take those people for granted. You know, that's something that I wish, me being 100% transparent, I wish that I did more of saying thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. You know, thanks for being in my life. I wish I did that more. Hi, Slice of Farming. How are you doing? Welcome. Yeah. You like that one, Jackie? Okay. When we realize our worth, we will stop giving people discounts. Ooh, that is good, Jackie. When we realize our worth, we will stop giving people discounts. That's what we do. We give people excuses. Yes, self-healing must come first. You can't love anyone without loving yourself first. But many people don't know who they are, what they want. They don't know how to be their own friend. Yeah. Hi, Claw Paw. How are you doing? Welcome. You might have to use that one. Yes, but distractions can take you off track. It really can. Hi, Kristen. How are you doing? Welcome. Yes, so true. This has distracted from the good things that I should be focused on, such as my two daughters just graduating from college. So yeah, so don't worry about the other things. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for all my mods that are working so hard. The happiest moment ever. Yeah. I appreciate all of you all being here. So what are some of the things that you wish that you could have done? I know a lot of people, one thing that I've learned from having, my parents had me older in life, and they always said that they wish when they were younger they would have taken advantage of their youth to travel and to have fun. So if I could go back in time, I would I would spend more time traveling and having fun, spend more time laughing. That's something that I would do more of. Yes, Jackie, that is a t-shirt. Let me pull this up here. Let's see what I missed. I'm going to I don't know why it won't do it. It's very weird dealing with my phone. It won't do certain things sometimes. Okay. Yes, me too. I was just going to say travel. Jackie, you were? Hi, Electra Place. How are you doing? You've always wanted to travel? You should. Even if it's something small. Even if it's a small thing, it doesn't have to be this big, huge thing. I started first by, going through certain things in my state, you know, going to this other city that you've never been to. Go see this city, go see that city, go have some fun, laugh and, enjoy your life. So if it was something that I would change about my life is learning to enjoy every moment. If you have a few days that you can take off, go and get lost in this life and go have some fun and do something different. Meet some new people. Don't always do the same thing. Oh, thank you, Tamika. I hope you feel better. Oh, you're getting ready to start doing more? Awesome, Jackie. I hope you feel better, Miss Tamika. Yeah, people think that it's weird that I have never been in love before. I just never got caught up in relationships like that. I believe love relationships are lessons. Yes. Well, that's what it is. In this life, it's all about how we choose to think, how we choose to think, how we choose to maintain, and if we're going to do something about it. For me, it was having the courage to be honest with myself. And a lot of times we are not honest with ourselves. I know I wasn't honest with myself for many, many years. I was never honest with myself. Can you guys hit the like, please? I would really like it to get to 20 likes on this stream. Let me start another poll. Hi, Wellness. How are you doing? Welcome. That's another poll. Please take the poll. Oh, just working? Awesome, Wellness. Thank you so much for stopping in. Yeah, me too, Queen Bee. I love traveling. I haven't been able to go in a little bit because I had a lot of things happened in my life, losing my mom and my dad back to back within 6 months, and then losing my brother during COVID and losing my aunt that was 102 years old. So I've had a lot of loss in the past few years, and I just honestly have been trying to process who I am. So one thing I would change about my life, if I could go back in time, is I would spend more quality time with the people that I care about. I would. If I could change anything, I would make sure that I'm spending more time with the people who are important to me. And who cares? I know, we have to work, you have to make your money, you have responsibilities, but at the same time, not going overboard. That's one thing that I had to learn. I had to learn to not going overboard, trying to be like the perfect employee, trying to be supportive and being so good to everybody, but never being good to yourself. In this life, we only get a few short years on this earth. We do. We only get a few short years. Make sure the years that you have, that it's something that you have like, I fulfilled, I tried. Even if you don't win at everything, I think it's important to say, even if I don't win at this or win at that, but I know that I gave it a good try. I know I did my best. And that's where I am these days. We don't always win at everything that we try. Everything we try to accomplish, that certain people we try to collaborate with or try to get involved with in business, not everything we try we're going to win at it. But at the same time, my thing is, if I could go back in time, I don't want to live with regret. I want, when I get to be that old lady, I want to be the happy old lady that sits down fulfilled and happy and at peace because I had enough courage while I was young. I laughed, I cried, I healed. I don't have any, whatever inside of me, like unresolved issues. I want, when I get older, I want to sit down happy. I want to, and let those memories take me on, because I may not be able to get up anymore and walk, and even if my mind slows down, but I can focus on the memories because I put in time to make memories. I think that's what's important. Let's see. Thank you, Realist. Oh, you answered first? Queen Bee says, I love to travel. I have been everywhere, including the pyramids in Mexico. Oh, wow, that's awesome. How was that? I've never seen the pyramids in Mexico. That pole is my guidance tool for my future. Awesome, Nolan's girl. Let's see what I missed. Realist says, I don't think people actually give that a thought. They don't. People don't give things a thought. They only think about, they only think about the present. They don't think about the future. They don't think about the people that they impact. They don't think about the people they hurt. And I can't deal with people like that anymore. When I was younger, I would just like, I would give so many people so many passes. I would allow people to take advantage of me. I would allow people to disrespect me. I would allow people to control me. I would allow people to get my power. I would let people affect me, when I had to learn myself that nobody can get my power unless I give it to them. Yeah. Nobody can get my power until I give it to them. And a lot of times we give people our power. We give people permission to get us upset. We give people permission to, say things. And the only thing that's important, if somebody says something to you, I always like to evaluate in my mind, why did I let that get me upset? Most of the time, the things that get us upset is the things that are true. So if it's something that maybe we need to do some work on ourselves and fix and heal and mature, then do those things. Take your time. Take your meditation. Take your time for, your quiet and your peace, and meditate on that. How can I improve? Write it out. Seek to have a plan for your elevation. I say that all the time when I talk to people and I mentor people. Always have a plan of elevation. We have to do more than just saying, I want better. If you don't have a plan set in place, I'm going to do this in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, or a year, you're going to sit and the world will go by, because sometimes it's like, wow, I can't believe 2 years passed by already. And then if you really think in your mind, what have I done for myself in these past 2 years? Yeah. So we have to work on being consistent, work on formulating a plan, being honest with ourselves, so that we can be better human beings. We can be better women. We can be better men. And I understand that this message is not for everybody, because most people are just happy being stuck. They're happy being just like everybody else. They don't want to make any changes. They don't want to do better. But I'm speaking to the people who actually want to do something with their life. And that's where I was in my life about 7 years ago. I was in that mode of, I used to be mad all the time, very angry, crying a lot, very low self-esteem. I went through a lot of things, but I had to learn that nobody can make me better. I have to make myself better. I have to learn humility. I had to learn to make changes. I had to be in control of me. I had to stop allowing people to take my power. I had to learn to, make some boundaries and then enforce them. Not because it's just for them, but I had to learn that some things was for me, I want to make other people happy, but I had to learn that I can't make myself suffer to make you happy. I had to stop doing that. I used to do that from my childhood until I was in college. I always was so focused on, oh, they're not happy. They're not going to be happy with me. And in the meanwhile, I was never thinking about, but am I happy? What is making me happy? HD says, I need to get better at treating myself. And yeah, I think everybody goes through those periods of time, because sometimes I'm like, can I really afford it? Like, I'll doubt myself, but at the same time, I would very openly just open up my hand and just freely fork over that money to help or assist another person. But why do I feel like I don't deserve to get that same gift? So, we have to go into evaluating and thinking, why don't I feel that I deserve to have whatever, X, Y, and Z, or have this travel, or have this, whatever it is. We do, but we have to change the narrative, change the self-talk in our mind. I deserve to have this, and this. I deserve to do that. I can do it. And it's all about, boosting ourselves up and encouraging ourselves. I can do better. I can do this. I can do that. And it's also who you allow yourself to associate with. So that would be another part in, if I could go back in time and change things, I would stop associating myself with people that I call fools. There are certain people, they're fools. They lack maturity. They don't do the right thing. They're not consistent. If somebody is not a good example for me, whatever it is that you're doing, they're trying their best, they're trying to improve, they're in school, they have a good job, they're doing the right thing, they're doing the right thing not only by their kids or whoever they're in a relationship with, but they're a good example to me of being consistent, because you feed off of who you associate with. And I have to be honest that I was not always associating with positive people, positive role models, Hi, Dika. How are you doing? If I didn't associate with negative people, I think for a long time I would have been way further in my career and my goals. But if I didn't do the right thing for myself, then I would still be angry. I would still be crying myself to sleep. I would still, oh, Deeksha. I would still be very miserable and very unhappy. So I wanted to say that to somebody who needs to hear this message before I get off of here. Give yourself the permission to be whoever you need to be. You know, if I could get one more like, I would really appreciate it. I want to say that to anybody. If there's anybody who is in the chat or watching on the replay, if you feel discouraged, if you feel taken advantage of, if you feel disrespected, if you feel not supported or cared for, then you have the right. You have the right to move on. You have the right to let go of certain individuals. You're welcome, Nolan's girl. I'm glad you like the message. Yes, do not be misled. Do not be misled. You know, it does make a difference who we associate with. And I used to think, oh, my friends were so tough and my friends were so cool and so this and so that. But at the same time, when they would do something wrong, you're the one that will suffer with the consequences of your actions, not them. When you getting yourself involved in all of these, whatever the repercussions of whatever negativity, whether it be incarceration, whether it be a substance or alcohol problem, or whatever, losing jobs and all kinds of things, and not being who you deserve to be. So I had to learn that I had to cut off certain people, not because I don't care about people, not because I think I'm better than others, but because they are stopping me from my personal growth. So if you have people in your life and they're stopping you from your personal growth, then leave them alone. Move on from them, okay? Move on, move on, move on from them. And don't let other people get to you, please. Please, please don't let other people get to you. You know, take your power and your control back. If I just reach one person, if there's something that you want to do in your life, and I just have one person that says, you know what, I'm going to go for my goal. I'm going to go for my dream. I'm going to break up with this toxic person because they're not good for me, or this person is using me or taking advantage of me mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, or it's affecting my health, you know? Hi, Iad. How are you doing? Welcome. If you could hit the like, I'd appreciate it. If you find that there are individuals that are just takers or users, have enough love for yourself to say, I deserve better. And I feel like that's something that I wish that I had back in the day, but I'm grateful that I possess it now. So I hope somebody from this message has something that will encourage them to stand up again, to fight for their life, maybe to go see a therapist, to get some help for whatever issues or vice or whatever. You know, there's no judgments here. I'm not making fun of anybody. I just want people to be happy. You know, this channel is all about life. You know, I show my life, I talk about my life, and I have no problem being transparent and saying there was many times in my life where I could have done so many things, but because I made poor choices. I have to say that because I'm honest. I made poor choices. I didn't allow myself to win. I didn't work on my confidence. I didn't do what I needed to do so that I could be my best self. And I want somebody to learn from my example. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. Don't waste your effort. You just do what you need to do so that you can be happy. And I think that's what's important. Yeah. This is always an awesome live stream as always. Thank you so much. I am going to be live in about 30 minutes on my other channel. It's the Sip and Chat with my co-host, Miss Nexie. And that channel is Love Marlene 411. So I'll see you guys there in about 30 minutes. I have to take a break, feed my family, and get some things together, and then I will be over there. So stay tuned for anybody who wants to come and talk. I think the sip and chat for today is talking about self-esteem. Let me look it up. Let's see. I think today's sip and chat is on self-esteem. Hold on. I don't know. What do I have? Yes, it's loving. No, that's not it. That's the old one. Oh, self-improvement, self-love, and self-esteem. So if you guys want to come over to the sip and chat in 29 minutes, I'll see you there. And we'll be talking about that with my co-host, Miss Nexie. See you guys there. I appreciate you guys. Have a great Friday. Shout out to all my mods. If you see any of my mods in blue, and they have channels, please go check out their channels. They're awesome content creators, and I rocks with them. So thank you guys so much. Everybody have a great rest of your day. And if it's something that you want to do with your life, get up, have the courage to do it. Be happy. Life is too short to not be happy. I hope everybody can understand that. We never know if this is our last day on this earth. Make sure if it's your last day that you lived it happy. Live your life happy. Bye, guys. I'll see you guys in 30 minutes on Love Marlene 411. Take care.